This year happens to coincide with the 200th anniversary of the birth of Charles Darwin. It's also the 150th anniversary of the publication of The Origin of Species. To celebrate that, the Charles Darwin Foundation is holding an international symposium. Of all the places in the world, there's probably no place like the Galapagos for a number of different reasons. The volcanic islands in the middle of the ocean. They're about 1,000 kilometers to the west of South America, and they sit right on the equator. And because of that unique position, they are influenced by some very, very unique oceanographic conditions. Because of their isolation, it's been a place where evolution could run rampant and very quickly. It's the only place in the world where you'll find tropical, subtropical, and almost Antarctic species because of the unique environment.
And a couple of people came up with Galapagos Islands, and then Lori at our Philadelphia affiliate WCAU also said Galapagos, so that's my guess.
Cool.
Where are you?
So those are your answers, right?
Yeah. That's always that.
Which, no, you were wrong. Which breaks my heart. I have to tell you, it just breaks my heart. Full Seychelles Islands in the middle of the Indian Ocean. And when I say in the middle of the Indian Ocean, I mean it. They have a saying around here, 1,000 miles from anywhere. Not just a saying. We're 1,000 miles off the east coast of Africa. We're 2,600 miles to the southwest of India. And just for a little perspective, we're about 8,000 miles away from where you're sitting in Studio 1A in Rockefeller Center. I got Stefan in control of the boat here. Can we go to shore now? All right, watch this. Now, I am not showing off here, guys. Go ahead, Stefan. I am not showing off. This is the way people come ashore in the Seychelles Islands, and they do it for a very good reason. They don't want big boats to pull up and dock here.
Of the Seychelles who will inherit islands like Aldabra, the world's largest coral atoll, and Pralin's Vallée de Mai, once believed to be the original site of the Garden of Eden, and where you can see the Coco de Mer, the pride of the Seychelles. 1,000 miles from anywhere, these 115 islands offer those who venture to these shores a view unlike any other.
It is really the last paradise on earth. Come and visit us.
They're apparently everywhere here.
Oh, absolutely. The Galapagos is famed for it, but they only have 30,000. We've got over 150,000, and we have not been shouting about it yet. And these are of dinosaur age, as you know, and the heaviest is in the Seychelles, over 350 kilos.
The tour took us straight to Esmeralda, the world's oldest tortoise. Legend says he was born in 1771. That makes him 237.
He loves being stroked like old men does.
Swarthmore College Biology. To educate young children about evolution, you could do no better than the giant tortoises that live on the islands of the Galapagos. Off the coast of Ecuador, they are freakishly heavy, live incredibly long, and can be ridden like a horse. But the greatest thing about the Galapagos tortoises is that they provide an amazingly clear example of evolutionary change. Evidence of descent with modification. Galapagos Islands are geologically brand new. They were formed by a volcanic activity approximately 3 to 5 million years ago. Therefore, all plants, insects, birds, etc. on the island are species that must have arrived on the islands by rafting in the water, perhaps after a storm blew them off the coast of South America, or via wind currents or self-propelled flight. Because tortoises cannot fly at all, it is most likely that several million years ago, some tortoises on the beach in South America were somehow blown out into the sea during a storm. And then, after an undoubtedly unpleasant long journey, bobbing around in shark-infested waters, deposited on the beach in one of the Galapagos Islands, given a really small size of the islands, it is perhaps most likely that only a single individual arrived. So envisioning a sole female that was carrying eggs is a likely scenario. When she laid her eggs, the islands were soon populated by little baby. Notice in these two comparison pictures, one's from the Galapagos Islands and the other one's from Silentius. That's in the Indian Ocean. One has a short neck at Galapagos, and the other one has a much longer neck at Silentius Islands. There are also longer-necked ones at Galapagos Islands, and there's shorter-necked ones at the Solentius Islands. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with evolution. Here we have one of the Galapagos Islands that has a notched shell and a long neck. Here we have one at Solentius that has a long neck and no notched shell. Here we have one at Solentius Islands that has a notched shell but a short neck. All these differences in the tortoise's population don't seem to have anything at all to do with natural selection and evolution.
They're apparently everywhere here.
Oh, absolutely. The Galapagos is famed for it, you know, but they only have 30,000. We've got over 150,000, and we have not been shouting about it yet. And these are of dinosaur age, as you know, and the heaviest is in the Seychelles, over 350 kilos.
You'll find penguins and coral reefs in the same location. Darwin spent 5 weeks in the Galapagos. Most people admit that if it had not been for those 5 weeks in the Galapagos and the things that he had seen there, that he probably would not have come up with the origin of species and the theory of evolution. What he saw in the Galapagos critically changed the way he viewed the way species evolved.
It was 120 degrees in the sun on Friday. We landed in New York, and it was like 50, a 70-degree difference in 24 hours.
120 is a bit much. That was a great moment.
Yeah.
But I teased the audience that at the end of the Seychelles, you stepped in what?
An enormous mound of tortoise poop.
That's good luck in the Seychelles.
200-year-old tortoise poop, too.
Well, that's when you know it's time to leave.
Yeah.